know it might sound strange to hear me say this, but let's get it out of the way. This case is not a whodunit. Our client, Dimione Walker, shot Michael Valentine. We intend to show that Dimione acted in self-defense. You've heard from the state what they believe that their evidence will show in this trial. We do not dispute many of the things that they have told you. We know that you will see a video that shows our client, Dimione Walker, shooting and killing Michael Valentine. You will hear from people who were at the club that night. You will hear from police officers who showed up at the scene and collected evidence. You will hear from investigators who interviewed witnesses. You will hear from a doctor who performed the autopsy on Michael Valentine and can describe the cause and manner of his death. You will hear from all sorts of witnesses from the prosecution. But again, you will see a video showing the when, where, how, and who of this case. The question that we ask you to keep in your minds is why. The evidence will show when this happened, on April 10th, 2022 at approximately 1:33 a.m. The evidence will show where, at Taboo Night Club in Cedar Rapids. The evidence will show how Michael Valentine died from gunshot injuries. We also agree that the evidence will show who was involved. Dimione Walker shot Michael Valentine. The when, where, how, and who are all on video. We are not asking you to disbelieve what you see. Here's what we want you to think about. Why? We believe that the evidence will show that Michael Valentine had a history of shooting Dimione Walker dating back to 2016. The evidence will show that Mr. Valentine had actually shot Dimione in January of 2016 while Dimione sat in his car. The evidence will show that Dimione and his injured passenger went to the hospital where they were treated for their injuries. The evidence will show that the police tried to investigate the shooting, but that Dimione couldn't or wouldn't say who shot him, and that the police closed their investigation. That incident was not captured on video. The evidence will show that mere hours after Dimione was shot, Michael Valentine was chased down by police and a handgun was recovered. The evidence will show that Perfecta brand ammunition found in the handgun matched the casings that were found at the scene where Dimione was shot, and that ballistics testing showed that the casings found at the scene matched the bullets that were test fired from the same gun. The evidence will show that Michael Valentine was known to carry a gun, and he had a reputation as being a danger to the community. The evidence will also show that he was removed from society from virtually the entire period.
Your Honor, I'm going to object at this time. Can we approach?
The evidence will show that Dimione Walker found himself at the Taboo Night Club on April 10, 2022 when Michael Valentine walked in the door. The evidence will show that Dimione Walker arrived first at Taboo Night Club that evening. You will hear from the owner of the club who knew Dimione as a regular customer. He came in with friends, he danced, he sang to the music, he talked to people, he gave them hugs, until Michael Valentine arrived at around 1:30 a.m., minutes before closing time. You will see from the video that when Michael Valentine walked into the room where Dimione had been having a good time, Dimione looked over and saw him almost immediately. Dimione's demeanor changed. He stopped. He stared at Michael Valentine. Dimione was no longer dancing and singing. He did not appear to be having a good time. And the evidence will show that within 3 minutes, Michael Valentine was on the ground, having been shot by Dimione Walker, who ran out the door. And now he sits before you today. We intend to show why Dimione Walker was justified in shooting Michael Valentine. We have already admitted that he did, in fact, shoot Mr. Valentine. We believe the evidence will show that Dimione Walker believed that Michael Valentine intended to cause him great harm or kill him, and that Dimione reacted to seeing Michael Valentine appear at the club in the only way he felt he could. Remember, as Dimione sits before you today, he's presumed to be innocent. Some of the things that you may hear and see during this trial may be difficult for you to take in. We ask that you keep an open mind throughout this entire case and consider everything that you see and hear. We ask that you keep asking yourselves, why? Why did this happen? Why would a man who was a regular customer at a local club in front of so many people shoot another man who showed up minutes before closing time? Keep this in mind while you listen to the case. Don't forget, who has the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt? State of Iowa. Remember who has the presumption of innocence? Our client, Dimione Walker. Pay attention to everything you see and hear over the next few days. Wait until you've heard all the evidence in this case before making up your minds. Don't make your decision based solely on a few seconds of video. Consider everything. Keep remembering what we have asked you to do. Don't forget about the why. We believe the evidence will show that Dimione Walker acted in self-defense, and the state cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did not.